you know, they could go pretty far. How do you feel?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of disappointment from what their previous matches were. I mean, again, as Ades pointed out, these were teams that were supposed to be winning their first round. And I think for Berlin especially, I think they felt like they were a team that were supposed to be the best coming out from EU, and losing your first round against a team especially like Oakland, who was a very low seed, came out of nowhere really, was very demoralizing for Berlin. And as Des mentioned, I think them taking that, having to sleep on it and not having to play their second game, I think might help them here coming into this matchup. I think the desk also didn't point out Top Cheese. What a season he's had on Stockton. He's really the guy to look out for if you're talking about a guy to pick it up, as a shot rings off there of the defender of Drip. Nagflo getting the first attack here on Stockton.
Absolutely. I agree with you with Top Cheese. He's been, I mean, how many times we have him on the highlight reels during the season?
He is the highlight reel.
He literally is the whole highlight reel for this team. Berlin trying to get something set up. They got a couple of 50s in front. I do really like how Stockton have looked overall in the course of the season. And it's funny because the story of this team, especially back in fall 2021, they really had a stinker of a season. And you wondered if Stockton would be able to get back to the form that they previously had. Then spring comes around, Stockton start looking good again. And the desk we're talking about, that grind mentality. Stack's never being able to get them for interviews because they've got constant scrims. And that kind of grind, I mean, it shows you the results they've gotten. They've gotten to the world stage.
And Stockton definitely a team that has evolved over the years in CRL. So we've seen many different variations. That's a great shot as Berlin. They've had all the pressures here so far against Stockton. It's been a lot of control on the blue side and a lot of Stockton playing defense, having to make some tough saves, as still Berlin trying to poke through here.
And Nagflo, felt like when Berlin were in control of that Oakland series, Nagflo was a big reason for it. He was really good on the striking. They're gonna need that same form. Tigre as well, kind of looking at these two players as the ones to drive the offense for Berlin. They have taken a couple shots on net. Stockton has had to make two difficult saves so far. Now Berlin starting to get pushed back, demo by demo. That one flying up high for Stockton, trying to keep that ball out. Quick shot out for Berlin, and they're kind of trading hands here a lot.
And, you know, it's not surprising to see Berlin have the pressure that they do. Not that Stockton hasn't had pressure in CRL, but Berlin, certainly big shooters, big goal scorers here, as this one sitting inside of the Berlin box. Tigre on the fast break here has one to beat. Can he get back to it? He pitches it across the net. The great backflip save there from Drip to help it along. Berlin still trying to threaten here as they await Top Cheese's touch, and it comes out to Tigre and didn't connect perfectly on that one.
Tigre saw that developing really well too. He knew exactly where Nagflo wanted to go. Just a matter of the quality shot not being on target.
But Berlin, I mean, in URC, we're averaging almost 3 goals per game. 3 goals per game as a team.
That's insane.
Shooting almost 10 shots per game, which is on par with a lot of the top CRL teams as well. So they look, these guys are no slouches. We all know that they're the best team coming out from Europe here, and they're trying to prove it against a very stingy Stockton squad.
Both sides proving stingy right now. Is midfield really been contested well. Top Cheese light shot. Stockton will continue to stack up the corner here, trying to keep that ball away from Berlin. Berlin not really starving for resources. Actually, Stockton are starting to deplete themselves a little bit, but they're also preventing Berlin from moving to the midfield line. That's going to make things a little difficult, but they get a big clear. Might have caught them out off the post and saved.
And that's just luck there from Stockton. That was a great challenge. Another one going towards the net. Lots of shots coming out from Berlin, whether it's from their own side or chances they generate themselves. Here's Bussy into the air. And he's not going to beat out that first man, but the follow-up there is from Top Cheese. Stockton trying to ramp up their offense.
Oh, Bussy really wanted that redirect. Ended up dropping it. Really traded, maybe 1 or 2 touches downfield for one team. Then they're challenged, cleared away. Right here, the midfield line looking for a pass. Stockton moving hard, hit off the backboard. Bussy lets it lay. He's gonna have to rely on his teammate to buy some time. He will. Stockton controlling the midfield, but Bussy actually getting a canister at the end. They needed that time, and it bought Bussy enough to get the boost.
And it's really not the most lethal attack from Stockton right now. Berlin have looked way scarier, yet we sit tied up as the chances have fallen for both sides. Stockton, though, trying to get something going, but Berlin, look at all the space for Nagflo looking for the backboard, and it's easily taken away by that man on Stockton. And here comes the counter.
Berlin thought they tried to stack the neutral zone, but then they pulled off at the last moment. Just ripped the ball away from Stockton. Okay, where's that follow-up touch? Well, there's a good 50. Gets dribbled on the other side of the corner. Quintessence, one more chance down the field. He's got a winger on the side. Bouncer, clear out. Gotta be careful if you're an ag flow here. Protect the ball, don't give it up, but it's off the wall. Maybe a shot comes light in front of the box. Overtime.
I've been watching the cams throughout this entire series, and everyone's just been stoic. Full concentration here in game one. Overtime is exactly how you draw it up. Can Busty get it down? Stockton, maybe their most threatening touch there towards the Berlin side. Berlin now trying to threaten the first 15 seconds. Both sides having opportunities.
Challenge here for Berlin, but it's a pass and
Whoa.
a shot. Oh, off the post and saved. It was going to bounce out, but Quintessence rather have that ball in the corner than out in the middle, and another one denied off the corner. No rebound this time for Stockton, and they just stopped the transition. Busty happy that he didn't have to block a redirect there, and now here he comes across the side. Nagflow has got Quintessence behind, but lets the ball come back. Creates a little space for Berlin, and it's kind of dead in the corner here for Berlin.
Stockton looking for a way out. They almost just ended this game, but Berlin now looking for two with Tigray, and two players on the back wall from Stockton turn it away. Now Quintessence, can he get over the first one? He does, but it's crossbar. Follow-up is there, but still the defense holding strong for Stockton.
Tigray couldn't get back to that ball, and Stockton stuffed Berlin again.
And you can't say that either team haven't had their chances, Jorby.
It's certainly been there, and the transitions are quick, too. Hang on. Off the backboard and defended. Not sure Tigray with that angle. I'm not sure where exactly he ended up landing on that play. Another 50 in front for Drip and Busty. Stockton feeling that pressure. Awkward off the back wall. Still made the touch.
And you can see the pressure from Berlin. Unrelenting, perfect rotations here. It's been so tough for Stockton to break out. You're seeing a lot of times they bring that ball down. They either don't have the boost or options to come out from their own side. Berlin winning the challenge game and just much more in control at the moment.
Drip pushing that ball out. Berlin diving regardless of resources. Nagflow and Quintessence on small pad duty right now. Stockton run into each other on the play, but another 50 kind of prevents them from getting out. And now on the reset, here comes Top Cheese. He wanted to drop it down with no boost. He was challenged away.
And I think Berlin are a little lucky that Top Cheese didn't have a lot of boost there. With that much space given to him, he could do a lot more damage. Unfortunately, having to use all of his boost to get up to that one. Berlin, low boost themselves, trying to break out, and they'll just throw it downfield.
Nice lock here in the corner. Drip ends up losing the ball. Busty tried to follow it up quick. Berlin pushing right back. Top Cheese trying to keep that close, and the little pop actually worked out. He got deleted. He wanted something a little cleaner.
It looked good, but he couldn't hold on to it. Beat that first man, and sometimes that's all you need. Stockton now want to find some offense.
Nice
Still,
catch.
it's just so tough to break down Berlin. They're so organized here today.
I mean, he carried the ball the whole way down. You saw no one from Stockton was even willing to commit on the play, just try to let him drive it to midfield. That's the kind of respect. I mean, Top Cheese has had those carries. Quintessence can't even carry this one out. Now Stockton putting on pressure, like ball taken away.
And you can see again the control, the communication coming out from Berlin, even on a backflip on the goal line, easily able to sweep up the mess. Berlin get out.
Scrum in the corner, ball loose out. Quintessence trying to find Nagflow. They've been linking up a lot on these pushes, but now Tigray's on the wing. This is dropped straight down. Quintessence and Tigray working forward, and now Nagflow, third man, gonna buy some time, maybe some more, but the 50 driven to the corner.
Smart tackle there from Nagflow, just staying behind the ball, making it tough for Stockton once again. You're seeing Stockton really not be able to hold on to any possession. So you see Busty barely getting past his own box here as he's stopped by Nagflow. He's already rotated back, winning more challenges. Berlin threatening here. Tigray looking for one off the ceiling. Follow-up not there from Berlin, and Stockton know it as they slowly approach that one and clear it out.
It looks like Tigray was waiting in midfield. He didn't really have a lot of boost either, so he couldn't commit to that play as early as maybe he would have liked. That's kind of been what's killed a lot of these pushes is the boost game. The boost. Oh, wait a minute, the flick saved by Tigray. Almost developed out of nowhere there. Busty setting this up off the corner. Non-touch, Berlin looking for a clear, but it's still Stockton control. And there's another touch for Berlin, forcing Stockton to go lateral, making the 50s work.
That's a tough read from Tigray. And he did make it. Drip wants to pass over. Top Cheese, it just wasn't far enough. Top Cheese wanted a piece of it. Stockton here, looking the most threatening they've been in, I don't know, 2-3 minutes, as the pressure's been unrelenting.
Berlin just haven't had that kind of force. I mean, they started this game with 2 quality shots on net. Stockton having to guard the top of the net. They did so both times. Another clear for Tigray. Can they get this midfield challenge? Stockton Nagflo trying to read, and he just couldn't figure out the distance there on the challenge. Thought he was beat on the play.
You can feel how tense this game is. Game 1 overtime, you're almost at 5 minutes. Both teams so focused in keeping this one going. Nagflo with a flip reset. Berlin, though, still not super threatening here as Stockton are just going to throw it downfield. It's a good dunk by Top Cheese as Stockton move up.
You gotta get worried. One player who's got boost in space, that might actually be the difference. Both teams have the mechanical ability. If they're given the space, actually a free rebound, but Nagflo, not the touch he wanted. He hit it right into the defender. A good dunk, though, from Tigre. Might set something up, but you see the rest of the rotation, we're still catching up to the play.
Yeah, I think Berlin didn't want to commit too hard on that one. That first shot, though, had to be on target. This one popped up by Quintessence, but still no follow-up coming in from Berlin. And once again, Stockton, really their only choice in a lot of these plays, just to throw it downfield. Tigre off the busty and in. You can see how happy Berlin are. They take game 1.
That had to have been the most stressful 10 minutes and 28 seconds. And game 1 sitting on the main stage. But nice shot. Good enough. Enough lead to force.
It had to go in eventually. One of these chances had to go in eventually for both sides. Berlin certainly, I think, had more pressure than Stockton, even in that overtime and regulation. But Berlin coming out on top makes sense here. Their pressure, the communication, the control they had in this game, even when it was back and forth, even when it was still close, felt like Berlin was mostly in control here against Stockton.
Yeah, I agree. I think that Stockton, they did have some dangerous transitions. The one that really sticks out to me near the start of that overtime was Top Cheese. He got a clean reset, but then he didn't have boost. He wanted the fake. That could have been the game changer for them in that game.
And again, we talked about Berlin just being so organized on offense because of the pressure that they had, but a lot of it too was defensively. Remember, we go back where they had a backflip on the goal line, easily taken away by the man on the back or on top of the net. So Berlin have just done a great job. The communication, I think, has been a big turnaround for them. As yesterday, I think they were just nervous, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, I think it was a little bit of nerves. You can see how excited they are. They're yelling at each other, saying, "Yeah, you know what? We are the real deal. Look at those shots." Nagflo had 10 alone.
That is ridiculous, actually. Didn't even feel like 10. I mean, that game was like, they just had lulls where no one was really gaining control, but Nagflo got 10 of them. All right. I mean, Berlin, they have to feel a little pressure here, right? Their EU teams get knocked out.
Yeah, right.
Like, left and right. All of a sudden, you're like one of 2 left, and what are you going to do?
Yeah, well, you got to win. That's what you got to do, and they come out on top here in game 1. You're right, though. Not only do they have the pressure of, I think being one of the favorite teams, even if they're not the highest seed from Europe, they also have now the pressure of European teams dropping out so much.
Yeah.
Being one of the last survivors here so far. And against a team that is beatable. Stockton, they're not a perfect team, had a great season, but not a perfect team here. Winning 11-4. The CRL League play finished 3rd. Only losses were Northwood, Vespa, Indiana, and Florida. So kind of some head-scratcher losses for the caliber of team of Stockton.
That was kind of what we were talking about with that team during the season, though, is didn't really understand some of those losses because the teams they would beat would almost always be teams that were above them in the record. When you play those quality teams and you win, then sometimes you get the goal as Drip picks up the first in game 2.
Well, this was the guy that the desk was pointing out. They wanted Drip to step up, and this was a great challenge there from Bussy, forcing Quint to just kind of go down, and Stockton were able to come out on top on the challenge. Great follow-up from Drip, and Stockton, look, they spent 10 minutes in the last game. It took them 30 seconds here to finally get there first.
How they managed on the kickoff, actually winning the cheat up there. Giving control back to Stockton. Here he comes. Oh, misses the double, but the goal still comes. Drip gets his second.
And now the offense is rolling for Stockton, and it's this man behind the ball, Top Cheese, to beat the first man and keeping it on the goal line, keeping it dangerous, and Drip with the follow-up again. Stockton double up on their lead.
Top Cheese, simple air dribble, and a simple 2-goal lead for Stockton early on. Like I said, that offense was really not forthcoming in that first game. Now they've opened up.
Yeah, it was lacking from Stockton, at least the lethality of it, right? Not putting away the shots that they had. Granted, they didn't have 10 shots like Nagflo did, but still, Stockton generated enough chances to score a goal, and they weren't able to here. Now you can see the offense going in game 2. You're seeing Stockton kind of come alive, I think play with a little bit more speed as well.
Clear here for Berlin. They do have a go-ahead man downfield. Now Quintessence up for this. That's a good shot, but saved again, this time by Bussy. Nagflo working his way around the corner, as difficult as it's going to be. And 2 solid 50s for Drip. Midfield line, he's got the boost. Getting harassed.
He got it out.
Avoids 2, but then, Top Cheese a little too far out and is defended by Berlin.
And Top Cheese didn't have boost anyway, so there wasn't much he could do, but I think he was a little shocked, though, that Drip was able to pull it out in the end with a pass. Now Top Cheese, he'll lose possession, but he'll take out the man. Now a good pass to Tigre, back post shot, it's just too wide. as Berlin now need to ramp up that offense, need to convert a little bit on a higher percentage here, and it might be Tigray. Got to win this challenge, and Busty to clear it away.
I think it was smart not to rush that from Tigray. He's picking up a lot of those small pads on his way back. Good work in the midfield as well. Buying time for the Berlin rotation to stabilize. Buy themselves some more time. The more you can thwart that Stockton transition, the more confidence you're going to build on your ability to push downfield. But they're still missing those quality shots that we were seeing from them in game one as Nagflo gets pushed off the ball, but a pass just a little too far for Tigray. Still going to make the catch. No boost and couldn't get the 50.
Still a good pinch here from Berlin. Looking for their first goal. Stockton have locked it down, and they just prevented a lot of Berlin's offense. Tigray trying to get physical there, landing on some players in the Stockton goal line. Still a good pass out. Can the shot come through? It was wide. It was cut off, though, by Stockton in the end. And really a good touch here from Quinn. Now he's able to have another chance. Berlin trying to threaten. Tigray will go. Drop it. No, off the crossbar. The closest Berlin's been here in game two.
Tigray's accuracy has been questionable in these last two games. Earlier on, he also kind of really ripped wide on an attempted shot. And even in game one, some of his opportunities just went wide. So Tigray, if he can shore up the accuracy a little bit, he can be part of that force on offense, but they actually get two whiffs and a back pass. Leaves the net almost open, but a great save from Top Cheese.
Nagflo almost had that redirect there, the read, rather, on the backboard. Now Tigray. Got space over here for Nagflo, but unfortunately not able to hold on to it. Does get the demo, but the follow-up there from Top Cheese. Wants to take the challenge. Stockton, can they capitalize on the space given over to him? Busty, I think, wanted the pass. And instead, gave it over to Berlin. Berlin, though, a little confused on what's happening here in the corner. Top Cheese backwards will take the challenge. One out by Tigray.
Got to push downfield, but another 50 just gets cleared out into the orange corner. Stockton have done a great job wasting all this time off the clock. Berlin felt like they started to stabilize at about the 3-minute mark and maybe even get some offense going. Quintessence just couldn't wrap it around. Nagflo also getting tied up with him off the back wall. Good read from Top Cheese. Only 18 in the tank here. Flips it over one, but Tigray's there. Hard shot towards the net. Forces two to commit. Now in the corner, it's a loose ball. Comes straight down. Nagflo pops it up. Off the bar and out. Another chance for Berlin. A close one, but Ironsides gets them.
That was the best look for Berlin with the shot there. Off the pinch. Now Nagflo, space to work with. Top Cheese going to cut him out. Berlin throwing everything at Stockton. And right now, Stockton standing tall defensively. 40 seconds left. The pass wants to go out, but a good tackle by Drip. It goes all the way to the Berlin side, and luckily wide of the net as Berlin tries to transition.
They can't, though. His midfield has been impossible, but finally they win a good clear. They might be able to force Top Cheese into a tough spot, but the pitch goes wide over to the corner. I mean, Berlin are almost out of time here. Scoring with at least 10 seconds on the clock to give yourself a chance, or maybe two for that second goal as they try to push. Another 50 goes out, but Quintessence has to stretch again. Stockton, excellent defensive performance in game number 2 to tie up the series against Berlin.
Yeah, I think Stockton very happy with this game 2 performance. You could kind of see it in their faces after game 1, a little disappointed going to that overtime. Of course, we knew this was going to be close. I think this game is a little bit more of what Stockton expected, getting a lead, holding on to it, and just playing a quality game. It wasn't perfect from them, but it was good enough to prevent Berlin from breaking through, because the offense was there from Berlin, and Stockton's defense stood tall.
And it was your guy that you mentioned at the start, Top Cheese. He set the tone of the game, setting up Drip for a really solid goal. And while Drip did get the very first goal of game 2, I think Top Cheese and that air dribble really felt like it stretched the game for Berlin, and they just weren't able to get anything going after that.
Top Cheese certainly a big part of it. Drip, though, you got to give him credit.
Absolutely.
Following up on all these setups from Top Cheese, that's a great pass down. Great work there from Stockton on offense. And, you know, I would never really recommend any team to just kind of like sit on their lead. You don't really want to do that in Rocket League. But I think Stockton, that was a great example of just holding on to the lead, not letting Berlin have anything there. You can see the fans out in the crowd. They're getting up. They're excited about it. And, I mean, look, back and forth series here so far, Jorby.
Everyone having a good time, and you know, you really don't know which way this was going to go. We were all talking about this series yesterday, and I'm like, oh, Berlin, Stockton, this is going to be a close one. And I think a lot of us were, at least internally, going, well, I can see how Berlin could take this, but I've seen a lot of Stockton. It's really hard to pick against Top Cheese and company, but Berlin are playing this real tight.
And I think we also said, man, it's going to be a really exciting match, but it's turning out to be more of like a chess match, which is exciting, but it's been very, very close, right? That game 1, 10.5 minutes, of elapsed time. Game 2, Stockton got that 2-goal lead, but Berlin was on the Stockton side for a lot of that time and created a lot of pressure. So you're just seeing kind of these teams going back and forth, battling it out. Both have gotten the better of each other now. And in Game 3, we're here to break the deadlock.
Putting the highlighter on Tigray. There weren't a lot of chances for Berlin in Game 2, but he had 2. Couldn't create those pressure opportunities with high-quality shots. I still think if the accuracy's a little better for him, maybe it'll get better, but Top Cheese has something to say about it. Stockton score first.
Well, there's a reason he's first in the CRL in shots per game at 4, and he just creates them out of nowhere, and it's that speed that comes out and produces for Stockton. They're up 1-0.
3 unanswered now for Stockton between these last 2 games. Contestants, Nagflow, Tigray trying to figure out how exactly to work by the Stockton team. These passes are fast. Even if Busty's defended there, he does get a solid touch onto the ball, but now a breakaway happens. Slips underneath on the 50. It bounces high on the ramp. That's not going to be in Berlin's favor.
Busty, haven't mentioned his name too much here in this series, but he's been doing his job.
Sometimes it's a good thing if we're not saying your name.
Yeah, it definitely is for the most part.
Oh, the miss. Oh, Quintessence. I think he was...
He's faking it.
He really wanted... I don't know. I feel like the shot might have been open for him there, but he still had a defender. It was kind of rough. He didn't have the boost to kind of wrap around it. The speed. It's going to be hard.
The preset here from Top Cheese to the right corner. It's 2-0 Stockton.
Oh, this is so clean from Top Cheese. Gets the pop-up. What are you going to do? You're watching him. See you later.
Man.
Got it right off his bumper into the top right corner. Jeez, Top Cheese.
He's been a breakout player for Stockton. I think everyone knew that he was good, but when we first saw him here this season, boy, he was something different, and Stockton better for it. You're seeing the chances that he creates. Got the first 2 goals here. Stockton looking good on offense.
Berlin now looking at almost, well, it has to be 7.5 shutout minutes. Not been able to get that offense going since Game 1. Stockton still pushing. Here on the orange half, up high, making it awkward. 2 touches just above the bar. Quick transition for Berlin, a hard touch, forcing Busty to make the touch, but again, Busty getting the job done.
And I do think that's a spot where Berlin can really take advantage of Stockton, the quick transitions downfield. Stockton sometimes are a little bit slow getting back on their defense. Berlin, though, just haven't had that outlet player. As you can see, Stockton knocking on the door here against Berlin, but Berlin holding strong.
Coming in front. Quintessence gets the first touch out. Tigray over to the side, but that gives Nagflow a chance. Forces Top Cheese to go to the corner. Only 8 boosts for Tigray. Rips it up off the ceiling. Another challenge for Berlin, and they have to pull off on the play, but it benefits them. Here he comes, barreling forward.
Whoa.
No, he doesn't get the second touch, but it's a loose ball. Tigray shot, saved by Top Cheese.
Another one.
Here comes another. Saved. Somehow they get in front of the ball again, and Stockton deny Berlin the goal.
Even with the double commit, Stockton able to build up the wall in front of the net. And now Busty able to break out for Stockton. He wants it himself, using all of his boost. The flip reset there. Top Cheese was waiting, but Tigray will have none of it.
Berlin, I think they felt the heat on that last push. That transition is speedy. They just need a couple more of those. And I was talking about Tigray earlier. That shot from him earlier that Top Cheese had to save, that's the kind of accuracy I was looking for Tigray. Now he gets the demo in front of the box, but somehow Drip gets in front with 2 players barreling down on him.
And I think it's getting a little bit frustrating here for Berlin, the way Stockton's been making these saves. Here's a flip reset. Quinn all the way. It's a save off the crossbar. Still threatening, but a bit clear for Busty.
How does that stay out? The transition blocked by Tigray. He's got no boost. Drip in the air. And there's another save for Quintessence. But not over. Stockton got a pass in front. No dunk. Transition for Berlin. Drip, a soft touch. He actually gets in the way of Quintessence, or Nagflow, excuse me, as Tigray pushes it across Berlin. Despite winning these 50s and having that speedy transition, they're still scoreless. They still can't get into the Stockton box. And even right there, where are you going? And Top Cheese is all over the place.
This is what I was just talking about. Berlin, they have to be frustrated with the way the defense has gone for Stockton. They have just blocked everything, and it really hasn't been that pretty. There's been a lot of double commits on the goal line. There's been a lot of opportunities when Berlin's numbers up and putting quality shots on the Stockton side, but somehow Stockton are able to turn it away.
Another block. Now 9 scoreless minutes for Berlin. Stockton underneath with Busty. Around the corner, around the box. Nobody was available for a quick follow-up. Top Cheese will take the boost regardless. I love that pass over from Nagflow to Quintessence. Flips it over Drip. Gets bumped out of the way. And Busty, a Really difficult touch. It's always dangerous when you have to clear it out towards the middle of the field. But look at Stockton still getting in front on the 50. Berlin swarming the corners, and that's not the touch you need. Quintessence finding Nagflow, and the touch keeps the ball locked. Shot from Tigre, way too light, but they bump in front of it. Stockton all locked in the net. Here's Nagflow again, and another 50 for Bussy. Big clear.
Big clear, because Berlin, again, you saw that perfect rotation. Every single touch, there was a Berlin player there to stop Stockton's out. A second touch here from Nagflow will put Berlin in right behind Stockton.
Not quite over yet. Nagflow puts this one on his back. Nice little touch to keep it close and force Drip into an awkward situation. If that shot is on target rather than to the back wall, Drip is going to have an easier time just hitting that ball up to the board, relying on your teammate to follow that up. Excellent first touch there from Nagflow.
So what comes out on the kickoff here? It's a little bit awkward for Stockton. Here's the chance, and the demo, it's too high. Someone's got to get to the ball. Quint the pass over to Tigre. It's still up. Ball up there. Somehow Stockton stops it. Berlin's still going to keep it up to keep it alive, but Bussy wants to dunk it down, and he will for Stockton.
What a finish! Somehow Stockton kept that one out, and the pass to Tigre looked like the ball touched the ground in the last second,
I don't know how
and he kept it up. And somehow Top G's finding the touch, and Stockton. Well, you're not feeling so comfortable after that game, are you, Corelli?
No, not so much. But I mean, but to be fair, that's what Stockton's been feeling the entire game. It's been a lot of pressure and control from Berlin. Stockton, they get their first two goals, and they've just been able to sit on it. And again, I don't think that's by design. I think that's more Berlin putting on the pressure. But right now, Stockton very happy with the chances they're putting away, and they're very happy with their defense. Regardless of how pretty you think it is, plays like this are going to put you in the lead.
And what I loved to see was Berlin returning with their own right there. What a save initially, though, to get that ball out. And I just love it when one team gets mechanical, you got to respond with mechanics yourself, right? You got to show, yeah, you can do the flip reset thing. That's cool, but we can do it too. Stockton just gets the last laugh because using the post their advantage, picking up those saves. They like Stockton's defense at the top of the net has been pristine.
Yeah.
Like they've just kept it difficult for Berlin, and the shots have been quality.
11-6 in the shooting department in favor of Berlin, shooting 11 on the side of Stockton. So for Berlin, again, it's about the conversion rate. When you have so many chances, I mean, even in that last 8 seconds, it looked good from Berlin. The second touch from Nagflow falls through. You have a good kickoff, able to capitalize, and I think a slow start there from Stockton off the kickoff. But for Berlin, you've just got to put it away. You have the opportunities. There's no excuses. You've got to find the hole on the Stockton defense.
You need to find a way to cool down and create some ice. Stockton have kept the field nice and warm so far. Berlin, since that game one, it took them 9.5 minutes to finally get a goal on the board. Crowd starting to get behind Stockton a little bit. That bounce off the ramp going to get away from Stockton. Tigre will take the benefit. Really do have a quick transition game, but then they just get stuffed. Like either Top Cheese, Busty, they catch the ball, and it just stops anything Berlin are expecting because you're hoping you get a mistouch on that quick transition. You're hoping that they can't catch it. But Stockton have been so consistent in that respect and really thwarted that transition.
Yeah. Well, actually, I think both sides have done a great job of stopping the transition.
Yeah.
Even Berlin, who I think have had more transition opportunities, Stockton have been able to get back so fast. And at least at that point, Stockton have been winning crucial challenges, though I think the challenge game certainly going in the favor of Berlin throughout all of these games, win or lose.
Another hard clear. We did see a lot of this in the first game. 2 quick touches, hard clear. Let's see what you got. This one gonna stay close to Nagflow, wants to control. He's looked good in this series. He's setting up for Tigre, got the 50 underneath, and he's got him beat, and Stockton got the lead.
How did he do that? How did he come out on top in that exchange? What a challenge, and the second touch to beat the last man. Top Cheese can do it all, and he's put Stockton in the lead once again.
It's just every time Stockton needs something in the tank, it is always Top Cheese. In CRL, we've had players like this that they're just the clutch factor. They show up when they need their team, or when their team needs them to show up, excuse me. Top Cheese is that guy.
And it matters even more here in this era of CRL when we have a stage this big. It's great that you can play at home in your dorm or whatever and play great online, but when you fly out and you come to a stage like this and keep performing, that's when it matters. And that's an open net for Nagflow. Berlin able to tie it up.
It's exactly how you respond to a great play from Top Cheese. Look at Quintessence get under this flip reset. Beat Drip to the ball. Forces Top Cheese, who's already floating down from the back wall, and a bit of confusion as you have to commit to that play. You know the shot is going to come, and sending two in front on that one is fine, but Berlin got you outplayed.
And they're able to break through early here in Game 4, and I think that's important for Berlin. They have to put the pressure on Stockton and not just let Stockton turtle up.
Stockton push that ball back around the corner. Quintessence push that forward. Maybe get a couple more in there on the Stockton defense. Maybe Tigray trying to find the bump and taking a parabolic trip around the back wall. Finding no contact, and we're in dead ball zone again here in the neutral zone.
Again, this is an elimination match. A huge match for both sides, especially here on this stage. Loser going home, and Stockton one game away from doing so. Berlin trying to fight back, and they certainly have the skill to do so as Nagflow's touch. Still awkward here from Stockton. Bussy put it towards his net. Drip doesn't find the touch. It's getting a bit dicey here for Stockton. Berlin, though, I think we're also a bit confused and waited to see how it panned out.
Yeah, Drip had actually caught his wheel on the crossbar on his way out on his launch, and it really made him awkward, and that could have been really dangerous for him, but he had his team backing him up. They're having struggles getting the clear. Top Cheese going to keep it close. They can't get back to the 50. There's no follow-up coming for Stockton. It's just rotate back to the corner. It's not working. They're able to cut in. Forces Drip to use more boost. Look at the boost on Stockton. Top Cheese finally got a corner, but they were starting to get starved, and he makes a great touch in the midfield to relieve some pressure.
Still a tie game. That's a great challenge from Top Cheese. Another one to keep the ball on the Berlin side. Now a great cut to beat the next man. Can he get through Tigray? At least going positive here for Stockton. A tough ball here for Bussy, as Top Cheese took on all of Berlin to keep this one in the attack.
He was just swinging his sword left and right there. I wasn't sure he was ever going to lose a 50 again, but oh no, they got caught out.
Oh, he put it in.
Drip, not how you want to touch it.
Wow, another big long clear coming up for Berlin. We've seen a few of these get over the head of the last man of Stockton. Again off target, but Drip to help it in, and Berlin happy to see that one go through.
Drip, I mean, what do you do in that situation? You see the ball sailing over your head, you just hope you can jump at the ball and it bounces out on you. Maybe you slam it against the post again. Didn't work out for you. Now Berlin, with a minute left, in the lead, and it just got saved by Tigray.
Game 5 looming here as we approach the final minute. Bussy trying to change things. That's a good fake past the first, beats the second, looking for the outlet pass. Follow up from Drip. It's not hard enough, and Berlin able to get back in front of their net.
He caught it under his wheel. It was first Top Cheese winning all those 50s, and Bussy creating the opportunity with the disruption on the 50s. They're going for the lows. They're not dodging into every ball. They're letting Berlin come in and dodge into them, but putting their car in position to win those 50s and keep control. But Stockton still need that goal. While the control's been good, the shots still aren't coming. Berlin hanging on in the final 30 seconds.
Oh, good speed from Drip. And a touch out.
Not what he wanted.
Berlin, though, able to recover, and now Quinn gets past one almost, but Bussy somehow is able to still read this. Berlin still threatening. They just want to close this one out with another one. 15 seconds on the clock.
Trying to get back around the corner. Drip got another clear. Stockton just need one good 50. Drip might have given them a chance here in the corner, but it's a race. And taken away. Oh, it popped up weirdly. Bussy's not in position. Time running out. Quintessence staying on top of it. Oh, with the bounce. Hits the ground, and Berlin have forced a Game 5.
Wow, and that's off of the own goal from Drip there on the long clear from Berlin. That's the go-ahead goal and the game-winning goal in the end for Berlin. And you could see the celebration for Berlin when they won this game. They knew that they're back in it. And honestly, again, I think a sigh of relief for them with the pressure that they've had, the shooting that they've had, to finally come out on top here after the last couple games is quite exciting for them.
See the seats starting to fill out. Looking at the game and like, whoa, there's some crazy action happening over here. And of course, we're going to get treated to a Game 5 in an NA versus EU matchup. It has not gone Europe's way in their inaugural World Championship collegiate event. But Berlin looking to make that argument of don't count us out. They Got to get by Stockton here. This was a good momentum builder in Game 4. What about you, Corelli? How are you feeling about both of these teams?
Well, that's what I think this is for Berlin. If you're looking at a team that's going to make the run like this and have to go to Game 5, they're the team that I put my money on to say they're going to win it. And especially in the series, the way it's come through, the context of this game, Berlin, again, have looked more in control. They've had a lot more shots. It's just putting the shots away. I know it's very surface level analysis, but there's so many shots coming out from Berlin. They just got to convert.
You know, you were talking earlier about Stockton's record and some of the teams that they lost to in the Eastern Conference and had some head scratchers. And we haven't really talked about it, but this is kind of one of those matchups where you think Stockton should have the edge. They should be able to pull out this victory, but Berlin just kind of sneaking around. And they've shown good ability, good mechanical ability, good team ability. I'm not trying to undersell Berlin. I think they're a quality team, but just saying Stockton have kind of been here before with other teams.
Sure. And again, the Stockton team has evolved. The Des talked about them, the way they practice, the way they've practiced here, the way they've practiced online. It's paid off to get to this point. This is one of those matchups, this is one of those games where we really see if the practice paid off, because you go into a very big matchup.
Well, we're here. Game 5 on Champions Field, driven by Nissan. Our first Game 5 of the day. Berlin fought back to get to the decider. Stockton, can they keep pushing against these orange cars? Top Cheese has been a big scorer, a big value creator for Stockton. They're gonna need him and a little bit more to get by Berlin. Crowd chanting, Top Cheese wants it. Love him getting behind Stockton. It's one of the better chants we've heard so far this weekend.
I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that Top Cheese wants it. I think all of Berlin wanted to. Again, we talked about their frustrations in day 1. And I think they've taken out some of their frustrations here against Stockton. So now, a couple of tackles here in the midfield, comes out to Drip. Top Cheese going to take it away. There's a follow-up opportunity here. Bussy had players in front of him. That's a tough shot to hit from Drip, and it skates across the box of Berlin.
Now Berlin get out of what was an interesting sequence of touches. Couldn't trip a defense up when the ball's just whipping around back and forth in front of the box. Drip, another push in front, stopped by Tigray. Here comes Top Cheese, he gets bumped.
Great bump.
Can't get back to it. Berlin will get by the midfield line. Nagflow and Quintessence working on it, trying to get downfield. Another clear out for Drip. Now he's got the reset, gets underneath one, but Quintessence is there, just lobs it back downfield.
A quality reset there would have bought more space for Drip. And now Berlin, this one coming across the box, it'll be Top Cheese. It's over to Nagflow. He's got options below him, Quint. Nagflow go all the way. He got 2 to go, and a good clear here from Stockton for the moment. Now Tigray, he's got full boost to work with, but not the best first touch.
Touch puts him out to the side. Top Cheese forced out on the 50. Berlin starting to win the war of attrition. That's one off to the corner for Tigray. And you see Quintessence got demoed on the play there by Bussy. And stopped their midfield presence. Now Stockton have been given a chance here with Top Cheese. Looking for a dunk. He's not going to get it. Forced out to the corner. And he won't even get his boost. In fact, it was Bussy getting demoed by Nagflow after protecting that boost. Berlin get another clear.
Good first touch there from Top Cheese, but now the follow-up, that's 2. Looking for another touch. Nagflow, but it's on top of Drip. Huge save on the goal line. Top Cheese gets back. Berlin still threatening. Stockton somehow again come out with the save.
50 stopped by Top Cheese here. Nagflow waiting in midfield. He beats Top Cheese to the ball, but there's Bussy again to pinch it back over to the orange half. Tigray with the initial save. Nobody from Berlin gonna follow this up quickly. That's been really the story of this series. It heats up and then it cools down immediately, only for this to happen. Here's underneath Top Cheese. Really trying to get mechanical there.
Ran out of boost. Tigray will throw it downfield as Bussy. That's not the touch he won. Berlin was there. And somehow not able to come out on top.
Drip getting stuffed in the corner. Tigray trying to force the issue. Top Cheese, his challenges have been excellent. Here working around Nagflow, doesn't get the touch against Quintessence. Even Bussy having some trouble. Quintessence, no boost. Pass over Tigray's head, he's got to pull off. And the ball kicked out. It's going to work for Nagflow. Off the read on the side, he lets it drop. The shot is taken and saved.
Wow.
Somehow Top Cheese, patient.
Now Bussy, he's just got one to beat here, and he's just going to take it straight into him. That's a dangerous bounce off the wall. No follow-up from Stockton. Drip backwards. Trying to control this one, as he does get by the first man. Looking for more. He got to the back wall. Berlin, rare to see them let something go like that through their net. or through their box rather.
Oh,
It's back the other way. Huge save by Drip once again.
another touch up, just trying to keep this ball away from Stockton. It's been awkward a couple of times. Everyone low on boost, working on small pads. Finally, they pick up canisters in their own corners. That's gonna give them some relief. Now the transition. Busty looking for the dunk. He's not gonna get it.
It's
but
Top
there's a
Cheese.
forward touch from
It's
Team
Top Cheese.
off the post, and he just missed it.
Drip still can keep this one going, but it's going to be a solo effort. Maybe the best look that Stockton had there from Top Cheese. It was just wide. Berlin looking shaky on defense here in Game 5.
Oh, thought that pass might have had it, but Berlin do get there and cut off that pass attempt again. Berlin have done a great job passing and even hopping in front of the passing lanes of Stockton. Keeping that defense clean, winning these 50s, but the follow-ups are slow. Drip on the control. He gets a favorable bounce out over to his teammate. Now Busty, here he comes on one touch. Top Cheese waiting in the wings. He's got the touch off the back wall. Up high is Drip. He's got another one, 2 touches, but nobody's following it up quickly from Stockton. No one really expecting that
Still
touch.
awkward.
Pops up, oh my goodness,
It's
he
post.
goes to post.
Top Cheese!
He does it again!
How does he make it work? Every time for Stockton, he's got to come up huge.
He's magical!
And he does it again. It's the speed, Jorby, to the post to beat Berlin. 17 seconds left, and maybe a final kickoff.
You can't teach the clutch factor. It's just something you're born with. And Top Cheese, he's had it all day long. Puts it up. Another save for Top Cheese. 10 seconds left for Berlin. They got the demo. But Quintessence has to get down. He's got it off the corner. Where's a push from Nagflow? He's got it. Tigre denied. Stockton down the field. Do they get the touch?
Wow.
Done. Berlin eliminated. Stockton, move on.
Sent them home. Stockton coming out huge in Game 5. And it may not have been pretty, but they clutch it up, Jorby.
Wow, Berlin forcing that Game 5, having that speedy transition, and you thought maybe, just maybe they were going to eke out the victory, but then who happened? Top Cheese happened, got in the way of every single opportunity, and you know, you can say whatever you want about how the goal went, but the reality is this man was excellent on defense, excellent in the midfield, excellent on offense. We saw one sequence where he won 5 challenges in a row all by himself.
Which is insane.
Like, I mean, you couldn't ask for much more. The kid's full of ice.
He is. He is. We talked about him. We talked about him at the beginning of the series. We're talking about the end of the series. All over, I think Stockton, that was actually a great team effort. I know Top Cheese definitely came out on offense. I think Drip did a great job on defense as well. Busty had a fantastic job up and down the field, winning not only crucial challenges on the sideline, but keeping the attack going for Stockton in a lot of these plays. But you got to think about Berlin, all the pressure that they had, all the shots that they had here against Stockton. We mentioned it every single game, but it's a very real talking point for them because it felt like they were much more organized. They had a lot better communication. Their offense, I felt like, was in a lot more control, but yet again, could not come out on top in the scoring department.
Yeah, they just, I mean, even some of those shots, they look good, but I just give credit to the goaltending of Stockton.
And it could be that, right.
In some of those games, I just think about Top Cheese and how he's like, oh, I got to stuff this ball into the top corner, and I'm coming from like the other side of the back wall, and I don't know how I'm getting those saves. But we have Busty over there for the post-game interview. Let's go hear what he has to say.
What's good, friends? It's F. here on location, standing next to the main man, Busty. Straight up and down. Stockton, one of the best teams on the field. Y'all already knew that. Did you expect to play on Saturday?
I did not expect to play on Saturday at all. So, like, we came into the World Championships, like, expecting to beat UCF, and we ended up losing. But it feels nice to be able to send them home, so.
So what was the feeling? All right, you didn't expect, oh no, we're here on Saturday. Did you guys come in with high hopes, or was it a negative feeling in the locker room?
It's high hopes, because at the end of the day, we know if we're playing our best, we could beat anyone here. So, if anything, we're happy you got to play today, so we're warmed up for tomorrow.
Love that. It's about keeping the momentum rolling. I want to switch gears here and talk about your opponent real quick. When it comes down to it, this is one of the best teams in Europe. Be real. You don't have to be nice, but you don't have to be mean. What do they have to offer? What does European CRL look like?
I think there's a lot of potential. So, like, NA's had time for people to transfer and go to schools and set up, like, you know, really good teams. You know, they're there at the same school, just kind of like, oh, CRL's a thing, let me play in it. And then I feel like they kind of egoed NA, thinking they can come in and roll us. So, yeah, that's why I'm happy that we beat them.
How many more years till EU matches NA's CRL prowess?
It's never going to match it, but I think they'll go from, like, being like a 2 out of 10 to like a 4 out of 10 or something like that.
Well, the crowd liked that one. Last question before I let you go, man. Up next, you got to deal with Oakland, another strong team, but y'all got a lot of faith in yourselves. What's that? What's going to happen against Oakland?
I thought we had a bye. I didn't know we were playing Oakland, honestly. Who's Oakland?
I think that's where we're going to leave it. Busty, thank you so much for your time. Stockton looks great. We'll see you tomorrow.